Hi, my name is Gerald Chambers. I'm a marriage and family therapist. Myth number 7. Women often provoke men into battering them. This myth is held by most batterers, many people in the general public, and a few professionals. Some men initiate violence independent of what their wives do or say. Dr. Lenore Walker and Donald Dutton have both described the internal buildup that goes on within men that leads to battering no matter what their wives do or say. Holding husbands accountable for violence regardless of what wives do or say is a necessary first step to end the violence, but it's not enough. The batterer has to feel accountable in order for the violence to stop. Feeling accountable means, in addition to being punished, the batterer has to feel that the punishment was justified. It's a rare batterer that feels this way, and it's a real good reason why battering infrequently stops on its own. Instead of holding themselves accountable, many batterers minimize and blame and try to justify their behavior. They deny that they're responsible for it and try to trivialize their actions. In those rare instances where batterers do feel accountable, the violence and the emotional abuse might stop. Batterers make choices when they beat their wives. Nothing a woman says to a man gives him the right to hit her. You know, men and boyfriends, they have the right to defend themselves if their wife is throwing something or pushing or hitting. You know, they can deflect the blow, they can hold her, they can step out of the way, that sort of thing. None of these physically aggressive behaviors constitute battering. They're commonly used by batterers as excuses for battering that would have occurred anyway. There's a philosophy of marriage inherent in the view that women provoke men to be violent. It says that men are the head of the household, the boss. In the old days, being boss meant you could beat up or even kill your wife, just like a master could beat up or kill a slave. Now it means viewing the wife as someone who deserves to be beaten under certain circumstances. Wives never deserve to be beaten by their husbands. Battering is a criminal act, and verbal challenges from wives don't justify battering. You know, this whole thing around a man being a boss is kind of an important idea, because I think that a lot of men are influenced by their occupations to behave a certain way around the house. Men want to be bosses. They get bossed around at work. They come home, want to boss the wife around or the girlfriend around. And so it's the way that we view each other and power in our relationships that can lead men to believe that they have the right to beat up a woman, the woman that they're living with, or their girlfriend, or their wife. We see a lot of abusive behavior on the job between employers and employees. And men feel powered down. They come home, they take it out on, a lot of men who feel that way come home and take it out on their wives and partners. So I happen to believe that men do feel provoked by their wives. But the fact that you feel provoked doesn't mean that you get to batter. It doesn't mean that you get to assault your wife. She will say things to you. She will do things. That's all the more reason why we need to talk as men in treatment and outside of treatment about how to deal with that without becoming violent, without bullying, without being emotionally abusive or physically abusive, because things happen. There are going to be a lot of situations that provoke you or make you think you want to use violence, and you have to have a different way of dealing with it. And so just because you feel like hitting doesn't mean you can hit. Just because you feel like she's provoking you, that doesn't mean she's provoking you. She just might be saying something to you. So in order to be in a relationship, a nonviolent relationship, you really got to be in some emotional shape and have some emotional intelligence. So that's why we're talking about this. Men need to be prepared for the fact that if you're in a relationship with another human being, there are going to be times when you're going to feel provoked. And you can't lash out violently. We're not cavemen. That's part of being a modern man, knowing how to regulate and manage your thoughts and feelings. If you like this video, give me a like or leave a comment, subscribe. Thank you for listening.